concentrated on doing my best man duties. So, got Rue out of bed, convinced him not to leave the country, made sure I didn't lose the rings, got him to the church on time. However, throughout this, I completely forgot about this speech actually, and I stupidly left my reading glasses at home. And I was like, oh no, but luckily I said to Rue, I've stupidly left my reading glasses at home, this is going to be really bad. He said, no, it's fine. He went onto his bag and came back with a pair of glasses and said, Will, you can borrow these. And I was like, that's brilliant. Not only were these any old glasses though, these are the same glasses that he wore when we first met about 20 years ago. So much like Rue, and some of the stories seem a lot like Rue as well. I thought, why don't I just take this book along, saves me writing a speech in it, I can just read a few chapters. So that's what I'm going to do. So the book's called Rufus and the Boss's Daughter. Rufus gets a promotion. Okay guys, chapter 1, introducing Rufus. Once upon a time, there's a young, single man named Rufus Ditter. He was about 6 foot tall, short curly brown hair, and an outgoing view of life. He had a loving family. He had friends that knew that without him, their life would be dull. He was missing that someone special in his life. So, but it's alright. Rufus was quite confident. He was himself. He's always thought of himself as being better than average. Now, his friends, on the other hand, didn't agree to this, and have constantly tried to prove this, to see if it's true or not. Now, I would go on about it, it's got quite a long list here, I won't go into the sort of experiments to find out what was true. However, rumour has it, he always wins at chess. He was quite confident. So anyway, this is a story about Rufus and finding love. Right, chapter 2, finding love. Actually, this one's about an ex-girlfriend of Rufus's, so I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to skip this one as well. I'm going to skip this one. I'm definitely not doing this one. I'll tell you what. Here we go. Chapter 55. The invite to the party. One day, Rufus was at work at his computer, slouching down, looking at reruns of Top Gear on the internet. But in the distance, he sees his boss walking up to him. Sits up straight, turns the internet off, wonders what he's done. Wonders if he's going to get told off, potentially gets sacked. But the boss comes up to him and says, Rufus, I'm having a party at my house with a few work people. Would you like to come? Rufus thinking, I'm not sure if this is a good idea, because the last time he went out drinking, he ended up so drunk that he fell asleep on a bathroom floor naked in a house in France. Though he wants to make a good impression, he'll go to the party. All he needs to do is get to the party. Chapter 56, getting to the party. Rufus initially thought about cycling to the party. However, his last cycling trip didn't go so well. It started off where he just had to cycle through a little gap between a fence and a bush. He was very careful, he didn't want to hit the fence or hit the bush. What actually happened though is he ran straight into the fence and landed face down in the bush. On that same journey, he dusted himself off, carried on, but on the same journey he crashed into another cyclist, flat on his back again, got back on his bike and fell off a curb, straight on his back again. Looking like he's done 12 rounds with Mike Tyson, he thought cycling's probably not the way. So what we'll do is we'll print off some instructions and drive his dad's Volvo estate to the party. Gets in the car, driving along, but it doesn't take very long before he gets lost. Rufus has always had this thing where, due to his experience, that straight on always means the second exit. He comes up to a little roundabout and it has directly forwards or a right hand turn. The instructions say go straight on. Rufus turns right. After a little while, Rufus realises he's completely lost, pulls into a small car park. Gets out of his car and sees a man standing there quite confused. Rufus gets out and says, just go and ask for directions. And the confused man just looks at him and goes, do you realise that you've just driven straight into a pole and just crashed, completely broken, the number plate of your dad's Volvo estate? Rufus looks at him confused and goes, I didn't see the rest. That didn't happen. Anyway, a few confused looks between the two, and Rufus is on his way, gets some directions. However, he still doesn't manage to get to the party without something a little bit more adventure. Driving along the dual carriageway, trying to sort of make up some time. But the car, suddenly, the bonnet of the car flips open whilst it's driving. Now, most people would stop and pull over. Not Rufus, he was in a rush. He felt that if he could squat down, he could carry on driving looking between the bottom of the bonnet and between the engines. He did this for a little while. But very glad to say to stop. But luckily his friend Samuel was nearby, waved him down and made him put the bonnet down. And he eventually gets to the party, where he meets someone for the first time. Chapter 57, Meeting the Boss's Daughter. It was 3:30 when the school bell rang. Young Gina grabbed her book. Packed up her books and ran home. She knew her dad had a party on that evening. When she got home, she ran straight upstairs to get dressed into her new designer dress. She would have been ready there and then, but it took another 4 hours to choose a handbag to go with. She could hear some of the guests outside in the garden having a good time. So she went down the stairs and walked out into the garden. When she looked out into the garden, she immediately saw this man. Tall, good looking, stylish, talking to Rufus. At the same time, Rufus looks towards Gina. His eyes meet her eyes. And he introduces himself. They start talking for a while. They get on really well. They exchange numbers. But only 16 years old. However, over that time, following the party, they kept in contact by text message and email. They just kind of, over that time, grew to know that they both met someone special. Gina knew she met a man who was strong enough to look after her, always be there for her, but yet weak enough that she could always bully him into watching every Disney film 15 times. And Rufus had met someone who was beautiful, funny, and could cook a mean lamb shank. Their bond got stronger and stronger, and they decided to get married. And at the wedding, they had a bridesmaid who looked as beautiful as ever. The married couple looked as happy as ever. And the best man got everyone to raise their glasses and toast to Rufus and Gina. They lived happily ever after. The end.
What's next? What's next?
Ushers.